The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
If you're totally into that world, which I find to be very interesting. So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that has him in check, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
That was Donald Trump a few months ago, people. Today's show is why white America is killing themselves over Donald Trump, QAnon, COVID-19, masks, and conspiracy theories. You see, there's something happening in this country that it has something to do with arrogance. Okay? Now, I played that clip for you because I wanted you to see just how arrogant this man is. He's telling a doctor who's sitting there, you know, with a crazy look on her face, because she knows that what he's telling American people is craziness. But because she's in a high-powered position to affect the outcome of how many lives that this virus kills, she doesn't want to disrupt anything because she has major input on who survives this. Now, I played that clip for you because this is a message for white America and some black America. You see, when COVID-19 first hit United States in January, actually I think it was here in December, but when it first became well known and full blown in the country, it was around mid-January. And Seattle and New York and a lot of the elderly people in elderly homes were being affected by it, and everything went into a panic. The whole country shut down until they could figure out what this was and what was going on. Okay, we got that understood. This is recent history. This is not something that we debating about that happened 20 or 30 years ago. Once it came out that the virus was killing more minorities, blacks and Latinos, all of a sudden around the beginning of February and through March, there was a push that the Republicans and the white supremacists that's running this country right now, there was this push to reopen everything. You had lieutenant governors in Florida and Texas telling people, why are we shutting down the government and our economy because of this? But before, when they thought that everybody was at risk, there was a rush to shut everything down to keep everybody safe. This is key to what today's program is about, people. The reason why this is key is because white Americans and a few black Americans, but white Americans mostly, are committing suicide. A lot of this is because of arrogance, because of a want to have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, even if it's causing somebody else's death. This is madness. I played that clip for you just to see, just so you can see the madness that's running this country. I'm not going to get into the DNC and Joe Biden. Hopefully he win. I'm voting for him, and I hope you vote for him too. Go down there and vote. Even if they tell you you can't vote by mail, mask up, double mask up, go down there, stand in line and vote, people. Now, I had to play that clip because, you know, this is going to be a controversial show. Most of my shows are controversial, but, you know, a lot of white Americans don't want to hear this. You're committing suicide. The numbers of white Americans being affected by COVID-19 has risen to the point where it's coming close to matching what black Americans had and Latino Americans had back in January and February. The death and the hospitalization is on the rise in the white community. I know some of you saying, you know, you black, what you care about this? Because I'm an American. I don't want anybody to be affected and hurt by this, period. But this is just to show you how far down the rabbit hole this country has come when it comes to this virus. Nobody wants nobody to tell them what to do. What you think you elect your elected officials for? To make the hard decisions, to tell you what to do. And if you elect these people, you shouldn't go back and tell them, hey, I don't want you to do what's right. I want you to do what I want you to do. They need to do what's right for the country. They need to make that hard decision that, hey, you need to mask up. That, hey, you need to stay out of those restaurants. You know, get your food on takeout. Go sit at a park somewhere and eat your food. This is what's supposed to and should be done. I'm going to continue on. I want y'all to see these stats. Just check out these stats, people. This is recent as August 8th. As you can tell, the Hispanic Latino community, the black community, and the American Indian community are being highly affected by COVID-19. This is not a game. This is not a joke. Now, the numbers for the white community are rising. There's two reasons for that. The first reason is because a lot of minorities accumulate themselves in the major cities. There's reasons behind that. I talked about on previous shows about how a lot of blacks went to the cities because they had safety in numbers to get away from racist and white supremacy. White supremacists went out into the country because they hated how the country was being brown and blackened, where everywhere they go they see brown and black people. So a lot of whites went out into the rural areas to get away from all of that. So what you're seeing happening is, first the virus hit the cities. It was killing a lot of blacks and Latinos. A lot of the whites and the white governors inside middle of America, inside of these rural and country towns, they dismissed it. They dismissed it because it wasn't killing whites. They dismissed it and said, why is we shutting down the country for this? But mind you, now the virus is starting to hit these little small towns, these small hamlets, these small communities, white cities, majority white cities, and now all of a sudden they're panicking again. But they didn't put that train on that track. They put that train on that track because instead of them looking out for the lives of all Americans, and saying this pandemic needs to be stopped, even if we got to shut everything down for a couple of weeks. They wasn't looking out for all Americans. They was looking out for white America. And when white America wasn't being slaughtered by this pandemic, they didn't care. I live in Tennessee. This is a Republican state ran by a Republican governor, Republican senators. I can step outside my door and put my mask on my face and go anywhere to any store, and I guarantee you, nearly all of the white people that I run across have no mask on. The ones that do, 9 times out of 10, they either vote Democrat or they're not down with this foolishness. They put their mask on. But the majority of the whites I see when I go into restaurants and order my food, they sitting in there eating with no mask on and got their kids in there. I might sit in the corner waiting on my food with my mask on, get my takeout, and leave. Sometimes I sit in the car and wait for them to bring my takeout to me. I went to a Chinese restaurant the other day and ordered a large fried rice. It's one of my favorite restaurants. And as I was waiting on the woman to finish my food and give it to me so I can leave, there was an elderly couple in there. They had to be in their late 60s. The man himself had a cane. Both of them were gray. Both of them looked like they was in their 60s and 70s. And the man himself didn't look like he was in too good of health. Neither one of them had masks on. They're sitting in an enclosed area talking to the lady. Even the lady, the Chinese lady that came off behind the counter to take their order, she even had a mask on. This is the arrogance and the craziness that I'm talking about when I say that white America is committing suicide. A lot of black Americans have caught on to what's going on. That's why you see our numbers shrinking as far as coronavirus cases, because we've already caught on to the fact that these people don't care nothing about what happens to us. We've caught on. But as we've caught on, white America has gotten more and more arrogant to the point where they feel like it's all a conspiracy theory, which is what I'm going to talk about later on in the show, QAnon. Because a lot of these right-wing conspiracy theories, programs, and websites, it's starting to affect black populations too. I'm going to talk about that. Let me continue on with this next video.
Mr. President, after the presentation we just saw about the heat and the humidity, is it dangerous for you to make people think they would be safe by going outside in the heat, considering that so many people are dying in Florida, considering that this virus has had an outbreak in Singapore, places that are hot and are humid?
Here we go. The new headline is Trump asks people to go outside. That's dangerous. Here we go. Same old group. You ready? I hope people enjoy the sun. And if it has an impact, that's great. I'm just hearing this, not really for the first time. I mean, there's been a rumor that, a very nice rumor that you go outside in the sun or you have heat and it does have an effect on other viruses. But now we get it from one of the great laboratories of the world, I have to say. Covers a lot more territory than just this. This is probably an easy thing, relatively speaking, for you. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure.
Now, that right there is a prime example of everything I was talking about. Everything starts from the top. You got these crazed people out here who is believing in what this man is saying. They believe wholeheartedly in Donald Trump. He's talking about injecting bleach and all kinds of detergent in people. All of this stuff is craziness, is foolishness. And he doesn't care, because I guarantee you Donald Trump saw the numbers. He's already has bigotry in his heart. He saw the numbers, people, of white America not being affected as much by this virus. But now, he also sees the numbers that white America being affected by this virus is on the rise. He also see them numbers too, just like I see the numbers because I check them. A lot of people out here are believing in these conspiracy theories, and it's going to cause them death. It's going to cause the death. I'm gonna end this first segment off by talking about, I usually do a liquor testing on my show. This free advertisement, people. This is today. I'm doing Blackberry. This is a Tennessee legend blackberry flavored whiskey. It's pretty good. I've tasted the butterscotch and the caramel, and it's pretty good. This brand right here, you don't need any chasers with it. You don't need no Coke. You don't need none of that. You don't need no chaser with it. I haven't actually tasted the blackberry, but the butterscotch and the caramel, excellent. Y'all should try it. It actually tastes like blackberry, just like the butterscotch and the caramel. It's pretty good. It's not like that wine we had last week. I think last week it was 7 Deadly Sins. I never bring that back on the show, people. I drink once a week, and usually by the time I finish this show, I put that bottle up in the cabinet for family and friends when they come over. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're going to go into our first commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to go further into this.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Damn, fool!
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Vice President Pence and the entire Trump administration for being available to me and my fellow governors 24/7 throughout this entire pandemic. I also want to recognize the members of the Texas House and Texas Senate for their ongoing leadership in their districts. And I want to recognize all of our local leaders for their continued partnership as we collectively respond to the coronavirus in Texas. Because of the efforts by everyone to slow the spread, we're now beginning to see glimmers that the worst of COVID-19 may soon be behind us. The number of infections and hospitalizations is beginning to level off. We have a steady supply of PPE like face masks. We have plenty of hospital rooms and ventilators to treat our fellow Texans.
That was governor of Texas, the governor of Texas, people. That was back in April. And I know that's an old clip, but you can see what's going on in Texas right now as of August. People are dying in Texas. Texas is a Republican state, just like Tennessee, just like Florida. And the whites that are running that state, these states, were basically lying to the people. They were lying to the people because they looked at black lives as not being enough to shut down the economy. I'm going to keep it plain and simple to you. Some of y'all going to disagree with that. I don't care. Like I say, I don't do this show for laughs and giggles. I'm not going to hold your hand. These people came out after they saw them numbers and saw that white America on average was dying and being hospitalized less by the virus than minorities. Excuse me. They were being hospitalized and dying less. Now, what's happening now is the virus has spread outside the cities and into some of these rural communities that governors and mayors like this man that just lied to the people are running. Now these people are basically committing suicide. You see minorities everywhere with masks on and a few whites with masks on, but the majority of whites, the arrogance, is unbelievable. They don't care. They don't care. I'm a truck driver, so I be in my truck by myself. And when I'm in my truck, I take my mask off and hang it up. When I pull up at a stop, I take my mask off, put it on. Every time I pull up at a stop, I promise you, this is not what I'm theorizing. This is not what I'm thinking. This is what I witnessed and seen myself. The majority of whites that are around me don't have a mask on, don't even have a mask present. They don't care. They will walk straight up to your truck and I have to stop them and say, hey, this is what they say. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But I need you to back in over here and do this over here. I say, okay. I close my door. I don't even allow them to come up to my truck. They tried, but I don't play that. Because I've come to realize that these people in their arrogance, because they done found out that this is not really, in their mind, they think that this is not really their problem. They've chosen to get out here and do whatever they want to do because it's not going to kill the majority of them. But what they're not realizing in their arrogance is this virus has latched on to white America now. Black America done wised up. They see what's going on. A lot of us are being masked up. I walked into a gas station the other day, had my mask on, kept my distance from everybody, and the only other people in that gas station, there were about 7 people in that gas station. The only other people in that gas station, I promise you, had masks on, was another black guy and 2 Hispanics, 2 Mexicans. They were construction workers. Everybody else didn't have a mask first on their face. And they were white. They're committing suicide, people. I'm finna get into Lieutenant Governor, what he said.
And what I said yesterday at the press conference was we need them to continue. We're not mandating, for example, as some local jurisdictions are, mask, and our executive orders yesterday override those local orders. But what we're saying to people is that we recommend you wear a mask. We still recommend you safe distancing because we want to get full into our economy as quickly as we can. We want restaurants, I used to be in the restaurant business, to be at 100% so they can.
Now see, that's what you call double speak. Double speak, double talk, have a con man do it. Basically, he's telling you mask up, but he's not making you mask up. See, that's what you call plausible deniability. See, can't nobody sue him because he's telling you, look, I gave you the option to mask up. You didn't mask up. Now you caught it. You can't sue me because I didn't tell you didn't have to wear it. Somebody in your family died. You can't blame me. I suggest you wear it. I didn't tell you had to wear it. I suggest you wear it. And this is going to cause the death of a lot of people. Let me show y'all these numbers. And I want y'all to pay attention to the numbers that are right below the line, the yellow line. Those are white Americans. As you can tell, the line of death and hospitalization in white America is on the rise. Look at these numbers. Pay attention very closely. As you can tell, the line right below the yellow, that's white America's line. The green line is black America. Pay attention very closely. That line right there represents white America. Basically what they're doing is their death toll and their hospitalization is on the rise because they're killing themselves. Their arrogance and conspiracy theories, they think this is some kind of hoax, and the people from the top is not discouraging this. The people from the top who are elected to make the hard decisions to tell you, hey man, don't come out here like that. You see, France, there was a video, I wish I had it, but there was a video I saw of the France governor. It was a governor or mayor in France. He saw some people walking on the beach or something, and he shamed them. He said, hey, what are you doing? Put on a mask. Matter of fact, get off the beach, go back home. He was out there patrolling the streets with the police, making sure that everybody was doing what they're supposed to do. That's why their numbers in Europe are lower than ours, because they were elected to make the hard decision to keep you safe. They didn't play no games with it. That's why their numbers are lower than ours. And right now, white America is on a death wish. And the shameful part about it is some black Americans have jumped on the bandwagon because of social media. I'm going to talk about that. This is for all of you black Americans who out there sending me private inboxes on all of these conspiracy theories about how the virus got started. The virus is a hoax. Face masks are killing you more than the virus is. I got black Americans sending me inboxes because they know this is a black run company. I mean, this is a black run show. So they looking at me as saying, okay, I done heard this rumor from a mostly white rumor mill, so I'm finna send it to this podcaster. And I'm telling you right now, people, all people I'm telling you, but especially black America that listen to my show, stop espousing rumors. You had a black girl tell me that COVID-19 came from 5G towers. I exposed her. She had a whole YouTube video up claiming she was a nurse, but she had a doctor's robe on, a doctor's smock. And the setting that she was sitting in talking didn't even look like a doctor's office. And once I exposed her, several other YouTubers exposed her, and she took her video down. Because what she was doing was she was spreading a rumor to the black and minority community that she learned from a rumor mill that came out of the white community. And I'm trying to explain to you that white communities right now are committing suicide. So it's bleeding over into the black community through connections. These people who are conspiracy theorists. They don't believe, like the old folks say, they don't believe shit stink. They think this is a game. They rather listen to Real Housewives or WAP or whatever that WAPO or WAP, whatever that video that the girl dancing, Megan Thee Stallion and the other chick, they rather pay attention to that stuff than understand that what's going on around you is real. Most black Americans understand that this is killing us. I've not witnessed firsthand, but I've been around to where 4 people that I know personally over the last 6 months have died. That's why this show is a little more serious. 4. And 3 of them was white. One guy I worked with for at least a year and a half. I pulled up at the dock, delivered my load, and me and him used to chat about Donald Trump all the time. He was a Trump supporter, and me and him used to debate all the time about Donald Trump. Let me explain how serious this is. When I went to pick up my paperwork, I had my mask on. My boss told me, he said, you know that guy that we used to work with? You know, he caught COVID-19. He was in a coma, man. He passed away. I was like, what? Are you serious? He said, yeah, man, he's gone. This is the same man that I debated with for months about Donald Trump being a corrupt president. And this is the same guy that never wore masks, was quick to try to get in your face. And I tell him, man, hey, keep your distance, man. You ain't got no mask on. Same guy. He loved Donald Trump. He believed in conspiracy theories. He thought all of this stuff was a hoax. He's gone. When I say he's gone, I mean he's gone. He's no longer with us. Another guy, they found him in his truck, slumped over the wheel. He was dead. Still to this day, no, the word has not come back whether he had coronavirus or not. They're trying to keep it real hush-hush for some strange reason. He's gone. White guy. This is just more recent. What I'm trying to explain to you is white America is committing suicide right now because of arrogance, bigotry, believing in a clown, Donald Trump, believing that there's nothing is real. And we're going to get to QAnon too, because QAnon plays a big part in this whole Q movement. Because the Q movement is over the internet, and right now it's affecting most white America, but it's bleeding over into black America too. Because I've seen Q propaganda all on Facebook. I've seen black Americans talk about ideology and theories that the same white conspiracy theorists are talking about. It's craziness. I showed you the numbers. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you the numbers again. I'm gonna show you the numbers one more time. Look at the line up under the yellow line. That's white America's line. The green line is black America. Black America has steadily been climbing in death because of COVID-19. The yellow line is Native American. The line right below that is white America. They're killing themselves. They're killing themselves over a arrogance and a bigotry because they think that they're not going to stop the economy because mostly blacks and Latinos are dying from COVID-19. But now your numbers are starting to rise. White America's numbers are starting to rise. I talked to a family member that lives in a small town right here in Tennessee. She used to always tell me, man, ain't nobody around here wearing no mask. It ain't really hit here yet. But now they have 100 cases in that little county that she lives in. Everybody down there is scared to death. It's a majority white county. It's a small town. I'm talking about small town, maybe 2-3 stoplights. And people are dying down there now. There's majority white people down there dying now. because they have gotten it in their mind that they don't care. They're not going to stop the economy that they have been profiting off of. Not everybody else been profiting off this economy. They've been profiting off of this economy. They don't want to stop it. Not because a few blacks and Latinos in their eyes are dying. But now their death toll is on the rise. I'm going to get into this next commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about this Q movement.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Damn, fool!
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, good people, and we back with the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. I want to recap the first two segments of this show. The first segment, I showed you clips of Donald Trump, the man who leads the country right now, and how in his arrogance, you know, he was trying to tell Dr. Birch possible cures and remedies like he's a doctor. One of the cures and remedies was injecting light and disinfectant into people's veins. Craziness. The second segment, I talked about how months ago, these lieutenant governors and mayors of some of these small white majority towns were dismissing this after they done saw the numbers of how COVID-19 was killing people in the black community. They saw the numbers, people. Because like I said, when this virus first hit back in January, everybody went into a panic and started locking everything down. The difference is, once the numbers came out, the numbers, it's all about the numbers. Like prosecutors say, follow the money. I'm finna be your prosecutor today, and I'm telling you, follow the numbers. Look back on the timeline of how America handled this COVID-19 crisis. January, panic, shutdown. Mid-February, numbers came out. How many people in Washington, California, and New York was dying? The people who were dying mostly were blacks and Latinos, blacks and Hispanics. By the end of February, beginning of March, that's when you start seeing a shift in the Republican Party. Why are we shutting down this government and the economy for this? People are going to die. You started to see people talk like that around the end of February, the beginning of March, after the numbers came out. This is not a coincidence, people. I don't sit up here and espouse conspiracy theories. This is facts. I can give you the timeline. I can give it to you. So now, this is what's happening. Because I'm finna prove my point to you what I'm saying. Now that Texas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, now that these communities and these states are becoming hot spots, these southern states who mostly vote Republican, now that a lot of these white communities, you know, in places like Arkansas, Oklahoma, the middle of the map, are starting to become hot spots, you're going to start seeing the government try to shut everything down. You're going to start seeing the government try to do everything they can to quash this pandemic. I guarantee you it's going to happen. And when it happens, I'm going to come right back on this show. It might be next week, might be the week after. I'm coming right back on this show, and I'm going to tell you, I told you this was going to happen. Because I follow the numbers. That's all you got to do. Look at the timeline. Look at the numbers. So now we finna get into QAnon. QAnon is a major part of why these people are pushing these conspiracy theories and this crisis is getting out of hand. Let me explain to you what QAnon is. For those of you who don't know. Let me explain to you what QAnon is. QAnon is the umbrella term for a sprawling set of internet conspiracy theories that allege falsely that the world is run by a cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles who are plotting against Mr. Trump while operating a global child sex trafficking ring. QAnon followers believe that this clique includes top Democrats including Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George Soros, as well as a number of entertainers of Hollywood, celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, Ellen DeGeneres, and religious figures including Pope Francis and the Dalai Lama. Many of them also believe that in addition to molesting children, members of this cult eat their captors. This is craziness. This is craziness. Now, QAnon got started in 2017. I follow the numbers. Donald Trump was elected 2016. It's awfully strange that all of a sudden some mysterious person on the internet calling himself Q, who's in the pocket of Donald Trump. For all we know, Donald Trump and the Trump administration could have started this whole QAnon crap. Because if you notice, everybody that they named as being a part of this conspiracy, number one are people that don't like Donald Trump. Number two are people that are going to fight against fascism. Think about that. These people that they named as being a part of some cabal of sex traffickers of children and cannibals, these people believe in their mind that everybody that was named is cannibals and child sex traffickers. Notice they didn't name no Republicans. You know, all the Republicans who have been locked up, indicted, all kinds of stuff around Donald Trump. These people have been locked up, got sentenced. He done pardoned some people. Notice they didn't talk nothing about them. QAnon has nothing to do with that. This is crazy town. And this whole QAnon movement has bled over into the black community. I was speaking to a female the other day, and she told me that the virus didn't come out of Wuhan, China. It came out of a laboratory here in America. This is a QAnon conspiracy theory. Now, she's black. I was stunned at first, but you know, like I say, I try to listen to people, because sometimes if you listen, you will see where the psychosis come from. Some people are hurt, they're damaged, and they want to latch on to anything that they feel is powerful and they're right about. And it's saddening. You know, it's saddening. We gotta be careful out here. Not only we have to be careful about our physical health because of the virus, as far as being minorities, we got to be careful about what we promote. I saw a black man on social media. He was on Facebook. He posted an article about Joe Biden being a racist because he didn't want busing back in the days. I saw the article, and the article was real. This was in the 70s, the 60s and 70s. Since then, Joe Biden has morphed into somebody different. I don't usually do this, but I got on social media when he posted that. And I said, number one, you must be a Trump supporter. Number two, Joe Biden has changed since the 60s. Donald Trump has never changed. He's still the same bigot he was since the 50s and 60s. This is why I typed in, back in the days, Donald Trump and his father used to put the letter C on people's application, which means that they're colored. They didn't want black people inside of their buildings to rent. The guy didn't say nothing. He didn't respond back. Then I said, I went further. I said his father, furthermore, was a recruiter for the Klan. He was caught at a Klan rally. I don't even think he knew nothing about that. The guy didn't respond. This is what I mean, people, when I say that this whole QAnon stuff is bleeding over into the black community. Because you have minorities in the black community who have done good in life. Some of them done good in life in this economy that's mostly white ran. And some minorities have done good up under Donald Trump. They don't care about the rest of us. They don't care about the rest of nothing. Their morality is gone. The only thing they focus on is their pockets. These are dangerous people. Dangerous people. And to be honest with you, if you're a minority out there listening to my voice, and after everything you done saw of Donald Trump, to me, you a dangerous person if you still support him and anything about him. Economy aside, I don't care nothing about that. My life is more important than a few dollars. My family's life is more important than a few dollars. My friends and co-workers' lives are more important than a few dollars. Because I can go out here and grow some crops. I can go out here and go hunting and fishing if I want to eat. Lives are more important than money. And once you start putting money above people's lives, your morality, it needs to be in question. I'm finna continue on about this whole QAnon crap.
You may have seen posters, memes, even baby onesies emblazoned with the letter Q, the conspiracy theory's main symbol and signal. But what is QAnon?
YouTube, Q's plan to save the world.
What's Q stand for?
In a time of deep political polarization and widespread distrust of institutions powered by disinformation, QAnon is the mother of all modern conspiracy theories.
As you heard the woman say, QAnon is the mother of all conspiracy theories. These people got a conspiracy theory for everything. And they just post it, put it out there. Somebody is sitting somewhere and they could possibly tie it to the Trump administration. But if you notice, all of the conspiracy revolves around people who are fighting against fascist Trump. And you got people eating this stuff up. They eating this stuff up. They love it. I'm going to continue on.
The heart of the Q Anon belief system is that almost everyone in power in the United States is part of a secret cabal, a deep state.
Donald Trump was picked by military leaders to run for president as a way to kind of bring down the deep state.
You hear this crap? She really believes in her heart that Donald Trump was picked by the military. Donald Trump is an opportunist and a bigot. He didn't even think he was going to win. He ran for president because he was about to start a television broadcast station. And he was expecting to make millions off of this television broadcast station as the outside person talking about Hillary Clinton. That's the whole reason he ran. He was shocked and surprised. Even his wife and people around him was shocked that he won. The Republican Party saw opportunity. They know he's a clown. Half of them don't even like him. But they saw opportunity since he won that they was going to do good on his win. They was going to go in and do all kinds of Republican policies that they've been wanting to put in place for decades. Basically, the same Q conspiracy theories is actually happening on the Republican side. You know how people say that Barack Obama was some kind of front man for globalists? It's happening with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is basically a front man for the Republican agendas. But he done surprised a lot of Republicans because he brought the crazy people with him. So now it's a battle. Because most Republicans that's in Congress and the Senate, they're not crazy. They're opportunists. They know what's going on. But Donald Trump brought the crazies with him. They thought they was just going to use Donald Trump as a puppet to press forward with a Republican agenda. And mostly that did happen. But now things have gotten out of hand. And they don't know what to do. You see, right now Congress is on recess. And I guarantee you Mitch McConnell and the rest of those senators and congressmen are somewhere huddled up without Donald Trump. I wanted to guarantee you they're somewhere huddled up at a meeting during this whole congressional break. They're talking about this. Because they're not crazy. They know that this is foolishness. They've been doing this whole government, they've been running the government for too long to know what's real and what's fake. They play along with some of this foolishness, but they know. Now they're trying to get off them up under this. But it's too late. The walls done closed in on them. So now you got a situation where the crazies are starting to get into Congress. You got a woman who's a QAnon supporter. She's running for Senate and she just won her primary. I think she's in Nebraska somewhere. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up later on and find out exactly where she is. But this woman is full-blown crazy. And that goes to show you how many people that voted for her around her are full-blown crazy. Because I always tell people, you got to remember, out of 100% of the American people, only about 60 to 70% votes. And out of that 60 or 70%, 42% voted for Donald Trump. 43% voted for Hillary Clinton. So that means you got 42% of the voting population in this country voted for Donald Trump. That should scare the daylights out of you. Because that means you got people out here that's around you every day, smiling in your face, working beside you at a job, speaking to you every day, who are secretly down with this bigotry, foolishness, and conspiracy theories. That should scare you. And you don't know who these people are because your vote is private, like it's supposed to be. I'm not advocating for opening up the voting to see who voted what. I'm not advocating for that. I'll tell you who I'm voting for. I don't care. But I'm not advocating for that. What I'm trying to tell you is 42% of the voting population in this country voted for Donald Trump and all of this foolishness that's going on right now. Do some of them regret it? Yes, they do. But that should scare you to know that these people were duped so easily.
Which is affiliated with all sorts of misbehavior, not limited to child trafficking. Donald Trump, in the QAnon view, is going to save us from this in a moment called the storm. And the belief is that the storm is coming.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
The storm is supposed to be a moment where all of these evildoers, Democrats, bureaucrats, all sorts of media figures are going to be arrested and put in front of military trials in Guantanamo, and America will be restored to its former greatness.
We are finally putting America first.
Again, I stopped this video right here with these two black people and the Asian woman behind them. They're minorities. If you look at that crowd, most of the people around them are white. I had to stop that video right there because I wanted to tell you minorities out there that there are a few among you who were a part of that 42%. Again, 42% voted for Donald Trump. 43% voted for Hillary Clinton. She won the popular vote, but she didn't have enough electoral college's points to win the presidency. This is scary. This is scary. Because you as Americans don't understand, some of you do, but a lot of you out there don't understand the crazy town, the crazy people that's running this country. It's sickening. I'm finna show you one right now.
That is the call you said you weren't making. That is the call. You want casinos open, you want stadiums open, you want restaurants open, you want Vegas back in business.
And I understand you're being very specific, and I appreciate it because that's where you're seeing it. No, the reality is I want us open in the city of Las Vegas so our people can go back to work.
Now, this is how crazy this is. She's so mixed up in her head with these conspiracy theories, she probably thinks this is a joke. She's saying that she wants people to go back to work. Anderson Cooper telling her, you know, you want people to go back to work and back into society, open up Las Vegas. But then she disagreed with him and then agreed with him. Just because she didn't want him to be right. She disagreed with him and then agreed with him. That's crazy. First she said, no, you're not saying it right. I didn't say I wanted to this and that. I wanted to open up this. He just sat there and said, lady, you wanted to open up everything. She disagreed with him, then agreed with him. Let me take this a little farther, because this is the woman who tried to use Las Vegas as an experiment.
And
Okay.
that's it, because we're putting children and families back out on the street. And very much a part of it for our convention business are our hotels and, yes, gambling. And gambling is a part of it.
So you want conventions in the town too?
Absolutely. I want everything back. We've never closed down the United States. We've never.
This woman is crazy. But pay attention to what she just said. This is the reason why the pandemic is going crazy like it is. And I'm finna end today's program, but this is the reason why the pandemic is killing white America. White America is falling up behind people like this. Crazy people, crazy town. This is who they follow. This is who they put their trust in. This woman offered up Las Vegas to be an experiment to see if the virus was real. Anderson Cooper was trying to tell this woman, these people are not even going to come just from Las Vegas. These people are going to come from all over the United States, get coronavirus, and take this stuff back home to their families, to their communities. She couldn't comprehend this. And then this is the key that I know she knows what she's talking about, because at the end, Anderson Cooper asked this woman, are you finna go out there and stand on the casino floors? She said, oh no, I'm too old for that. I got children at home. She literally told him, you can go out there. I want you to go out there, catch this virus, take it back home to your family. She's not finna do that. These are the people that's being put in office. The crazies, the lunatics, the Looney Tunes. Straight out of a comic book character. I hope you guys learned something from this program, man. And I love you all. Be safe out here. This is the Daily Read, and I'm out.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Business.